Hey guys, how you doing? It's Bob Augusto here at Shoulda, Coulda, Woulda. We're in the garage again. It's going to get a fluid change in the forks, and while I'm in there, I'm going to kind of disassemble the forks to see if everything looks okay. I don't see any leaking there, so I don't see any issues with that. I'm going to do the triple tree bearings, take a look at that, repack them, put that all back together. I think it's time that we get this thing rolling. Next step is we're going to take the front forks out. So these are your fork adjustments here. You got a nut here, you got a hand twist there, then you get this outside nut here. This outside nut's the cap. While the forks are still in their cradle, you want to loosen this nut because it's going to have to come off anyway. And why take it off and then try to loosen it after? Because you know, they can be quite a bear. I mean, there's actually a torque setting to that. Down in here, there's 2 hexes. So we're going to loosen those up. So when you do that, this thing should drop. This thing should drop right out. I always like to make notation. It's like any other bike. The fork literally sits. The fork literally sits on the top of the top tree. So that's where it's going to go. That's where it'll go back. The tool I was trying to use an open end, and I literally gouged the crap out of trying to loosen this out. This is torqued down so tight that it literally distorted the friggin' nut. I didn't even try that side yet. Fast forward a trip to Harbor Freight. Picked up a set of impacts. I didn't have one of the size. And I got a 24 on there. So rather than try to just muscle it off, I'm going to try to impact it off. I've had the best luck with that. So whoever was in that thing before, I don't know why they wanted to wrench that so tight. Because it's not structural, it's just the seal to keep it from leaking. But they got it wrenched down so tight that I couldn't budge it. So hopefully impact will do. There you go. I don't know why they had that so tight. Let's crack this one loose. That one was normal. That other one was off the hook. I don't get it. It's not a matter of how tight you make something, it's a matter of how tight it needs to be. Shameful, shameful. I gouged that, I'm not happy. So the next step is I'm going to do this side first. I'm going to loosen this up here. And then I'm going to loosen up the other 2 sides. And I'm just going to pull the forks through. There's enough room in there that if I turn the handlebars this way, I can get in there with the hex. So that's loose. I'm just going to come in under here. I think I can get this to fit. Good. Look at that. It's on its way out the door. She wasn't even in a hurry. There you go. It's numero uno. Anything about these front forks in terms of when they've been serviced, I'm going to find out in a minute, because if I dump the oil out of this thing and it's nasty, then I'm going to know. Let the thing hang upside down and drain. So just take this off. All right. Well, it's not clean, and what I've just done there is got rid of a potential nightmare. Okay, so it's a cartridge fork, So we're going to go ahead and go through the draining process. I'm going to need to get my book now. I mean, I pretty much get an idea how it goes, but there's a nut under here, and that is a 14 mil. And there's the nut up here, and that is a 17 mil. And what I got to do is, it's just a lock nut. So basically, that's it. Because I want to take this off. There you go. So that comes off. And I'm assuming this comes out. Do not scratch inner tube. So we're going to go ahead and there's your spring. So there's a washer and a spring that comes out. And then we pump this out. So with that said, I'm just gonna put that in there and let it sit and drain out. So I'm just gonna bring this over and lean that. And I'll let it sit there for a while. So that's kind of as far as I'm gonna go. Everything looks good. It's all together, it's tight. There's no play in it. So I think we're pretty good. I would say that's good. Slowly stroke the inner tube 1 up and down. Before measuring the fork oil level, wait 10 minutes until the oil has settled and the air bubbles have dispersed without the fork spring. So your fluid measurement's done without the fork spring. There you go. So the measurement is 3.62 inches. That's what it's got to be. 92 millimeters. Then you install the fork spring. But it doesn't say, and I'm pretty sure it's compressed. You got to compress it. It's done on the compression. Measure. Fork A from the top of the inner tube with the outer tube fully compressed and without the fork spring. So this is fully compressed, no spring in it. You measure it. So we're going to initially put 23.53 ounces. 23.53 US ounces. And they say 23.53. Me too. I'm going to put 21 in there. Look how clean that is. That's about a little over 20. The reason why I'm doing that is because you're never going to drain the thing completely. There's going to be a little bit left over, and I don't want to overfill it. Recommended oil, the level is 3.62 inches. There's my handy dandy dipstick that I had from the ZG. And there's my initial measurements. Actually, that's the measurement. This one's 3.62 inches. So from here to here is 3.62 inches, or 92 millimeters. So my goal is, you notice I put that on this way I can just grab that easier, because I got to pump this, and it just keeps wanting to fall in and fall down below. So I got tired of that, so that's how I decided to deal with that. Alright, so I have my measured 22 fluid ounces, and they wanted me to put 23.53, so there's an extra, I'm short an ounce and a half. So if I pour that whole thing in here, I'm not going to go over. And then I can just incrementally do it till it's right. But there's enough in there then I can settle the air in the shock, in the fork. So we're just going to go ahead now and put about half of it in there. You can hear it burbling. Oh yeah, that's a big difference there. Look at that. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and add more. Yeah, we're close to the top. Going down nice. Smooth. I'm not hearing any air, but I'm gonna follow the directions of this. So it says, after filling the fork leg, slowly stroke the damper rod assembly one up and down at least 10 times to distribute the fork oil. Be sure to strike the damper rod assembly slowly because the fork may spurt out. So I'm going to take this off because this can actually go lower. So I'm going to go way down. 4, 5, 9. I'm not hearing any air, so I'm just going to screw this back on just to keep it from settling out of my reach. 431. 441, I'll be back. Nothing there. You feel it top off? By letting it slide down, it makes it pinch harder. A little more fluid. Alright, we're starting. Almost there. Oh, we're there. That's perfect. So again, this spring, long taper, short taper. Long taper goes down. I didn't need to screw that in that much. Alright, go ahead and drop this in there. Yeah, it was due. I can certainly say it was due. It's got to go in. And then this goes in. All the way. There's our rod. And then this goes in. Finger tight. That's finger tight. Then we're going to back this up and we're going to lock it off. Let's do it right. There you go. That'll do it. So again, when it goes back in the bike, we'll torque it to its setting. And we're good. I never even messed with the adjustments, the rebound and the dampening and all that. I never even messed with it. Yet. So there you go. I was going to put the other I was going to put the other fork in, and then I realized I got to do the neck bearings. So that's the right side. So the left is done and the right is done. Okay, so next project, and this will actually be the final one on this series of doing the front end. I want to check the neck bearings here. In order to get in here, I'm going to have to take the handlebars off. So this has the handlebars, the risers, and the kickbacks on it, which is cool. But they're going to need to come out. Okay, better angle. It's all greased up nice. For sure, this has been serviced. It's all clean and greased up nice. So we have a washer. Okay, we have a tool specifically for the bike. I think that was okay. Those nuts. There's a rubber washer. Away a little bit. Drop. This goes like this. What do we got here? This is packed well too. I don't think I'm going to go too deep into this, because this looks to be good. It's packed well. Yeah, it's packed well. Good. It's packed well. The race is in good shape. Let's see what the bottom looks like. Well, that looks good. It's all packed through. It's all packed pretty well. There's nothing wrong there. There's nothing wrong there. It's good. It looks good. I don't even need to pack them, they're already packed. So there was some service done on this probably last year. We're getting there. Now there's a procedure for doing this. I'm going to dig it out of the book. You got to tighten it up to a certain torque setting, and then back it away, and then tighten it back up to a lower setting. Right, okay. So the first one is we go out to 37 foot-pounds, exercise it, back it away, and then settle it 13. Initial tighten 37 foot-pounds. There you are. So we ran out of battery. Yay. Okay, so I initially tightened it to 37 foot-pounds. Then it says back it off loose, which I've done. And they want you to tighten the thing back up at 13 foot-pounds. You leave it at 13 foot-pounds. Then it says check for wiggly or tight. That feels good. She feels good. So we know that's right. The bearings are in good shape. The races are in good shape. They're well greased. Good. Install the rubber washer. Install the upper ring nut. So I don't really think there was anything out of whack. It's fixed. If it was, it's not anymore. Finger tighten the upper ring nut, then align the slots for both ring nuts. If necessary, hold the lower ring nut and tighten the upper ring nut until the slots are aligned. Why would you need to hold the lower ring nut? Why would that even move? Those are aligned. Okay, there's that. So there you go with that. Let's see, this is next. I remember, you can't really tighten this until I put the forks back in. Because they were aligned. So you gotta kind of put the forks in to make sure everything stays aligned. There you go. Looky looky. There we go. So I just got them slightly pinched so they just basically self-align. So this is all aligned in there. Straight down. Nice. I'm going to turn this to lock. It's like 85 foot-pounds. 85 it. There it is. Steering head bearings are checked. So now I got to put all this back together. The healer bar risers, the whole 9 yards. Beautiful. That's it. So the two lower pinch bolts are 17 foot-pounds. Well, they want you to do the cap bolt at 18 foot-pounds. This thing was on so tight that I damaged it, and it's only at 18 foot-pounds. I don't know what the previous owner was thinking, or the last person that serviced this. But for 18 foot-pounds, are you kidding me? That's all it takes. Upper bracket pinch bolts, 19 foot-pounds. To 66 foot-pounds. The 50 without performing temporary tightening. So pinch bolt 2, pinch bolt 1. This is pinch bolt 2. That's pinch bolt 1. 15-foot valves, there we go. That's one. In the order, pitch bolt 4 to pitch bolt 3. So in this case, it's outside to in. Beautiful. Front wheel is on. Beautiful. We'll just apply the brakes, and then just close the calipers up, and that's it. So the front end is restored. The front end is ready to go. It's good. It's great. All right. Cleanup time.